Hey everybody, Barney Fife here, and this algebra lesson is on exponents involving quotients. The last one we did exponents where you add them and multiply them, so this one's a little different here. Let's go ahead and begin. So to divide powers that have the same base, you subtract the exponent. So for example, x to the m over x to the n, these have to be the same bases to do this. You just subtract the exponents. It's x to the m minus n. So let's try some of these, you guys. So simplify the expression. Okay, 8 to the 12 over 8 to the 9. You're going to subtract those exponents. 12 minus 9 is 3, so it's 8 to the 3. And you can go ahead and get 8 to the 3. I think it's 512, I think, you guys. Uh, but you can leave it like that on big numbers. If it's small numbers like 2 to the third or 4 to the third, I'd want you to go ahead and multiply those out. But 8 to the third, you can go ahead and do that also. I just left it like that. And especially like on this one, negative 7 to the 13th over negative 7 to the 5th. You're going to go ahead and subtract those exponents. And remember, a negative that's being raised to an even power makes the negative disappear. If it's being raised to an odd power, then it stays. If this was like negative 7 to the ninth power, it would have to stay as negative 7 to the ninth. But if you ever have a negative wrapped in parentheses and it's being raised to an even power, the negative disappears. And I've noticed in our textbook anyways, they still keep the negative and they leave it like that. But you'll see when you get in higher in math, they'll make it disappear. So this is actually the answer, 7 to the 8th right there. Okay, so this one, okay, they're this simple. Don't worry, they'll get harder, you guys. This is y to the 5th. Okay, this one, all right, now this one, you guys, I have x to the 5th, y to the 3rd over x squared y. Okay, treat these guys individually, x to the 5th over x squared, and similarly treat these guys, y to the 2nd, or y to the 3rd over y to the 1st. There's an imaginary 1 right there if there's no number there. Okay, so x to the 5 minus 2 times y to the 3 minus 1, I get x to the 3rd y squared. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, when you have a fraction being raised to an exponent, then you just raise the numerator to the exponent and the denominator to the exponent. Okay, and this one's small enough, I can go ahead and do this. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And then some of you guys write down 6 still. And then 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. So when you can do that, go ahead and multiply it out. 8/27 is the answer. Okay, all right, now this negative is being included in the parentheses, you guys. All right, so the negative is going to disappear. But whenever you have a negative with the fraction, I always float it with the numerator, you guys. And so it becomes negative 4 squared. Notice I have the negative going upstairs. You can't put it both upstairs and downstairs. And it's tacky to leave a negative in the denominator. So always throw it in the numerator. Negative 4 squared is positive 16, and 3 squared is 9, so 16/9. Okay, how you doing? You okay with that? It's reasonably easy. Okay, this one here, again, throw that negative with the top part, the negative 3. Okay, so negative 3 to the 3rd is going to be, now here, the negative is being raised to an odd power, so it's going to stay negative. Okay, so I get negative 3 times negative 3 is 9, and then 9 times negative 3 is negative 27. All right, and then 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. And then go ahead and put the negative back out in front of the fraction right there. It looks better like that. Okay, I'd take it if you left it in the numerator, you guys. I'd probably ding you some points if you put it in the denominator. It just looks tacky when you have negatives in the denominator. Textbooks will never do that. At least I don't think. Okay, so here it's going to be x squared to the 3rd and then 4y to the 3rd. So the top part to the 3rd and the bottom part to the 3rd. Okay, so powers raised to powers, I multiply those. Remember that from the last lesson. Okay, here, this 3 is attached with this 4, and it's attached with the y, okay? And then 4 times 4 is 16, and 16 times 4 is 64. So there's the final answer, x to the 6th over 64y to the 3rd. All right, okay, number 9. All right, first I'm going to deal with this squared part right here. So I'm going to go 5 squared, x cubed squared, 7 squared, y squared squared, okay? So that's what this is going to be. Everything's being squared right there. 5 squared is 25 and 7 squared is 49. Okay, powers raised to powers. I multiply these, so it's going to be 3 times 2 or 6. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and cancel, you guys. 7 goes into 14 and 49. All right, and then 5 goes into the 15 and 25. All right, and then So I have I have 2 times 5 is 10, and then so I have x to the 5th, x to the 6th. So it's going to be x to the power 5 plus 6, and similarly it's going to be 21 because I got it from 3 times 7, y to the power 2 plus 4. All right, and then so there we go. So 10x to the 11th over 21y to the 8th. Okay, and I can't do anything because these are different bases, so I just got to leave it like that. All right, okay, let's try this one here. Okay, they're getting progressively harder, aren't they? Okay, everything in here, 3 to the third, x cubed to the third, y to the third, x squared to the third. So all of that's being to the third. And similarly, everything's being squared on this one right here. So y squared squared, x to the fourth squared, 5 squared, and then y squared on that. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and clean this up. This is going to be 27, x to the ninth, because I multiply those, y cubed. Okay, over x to the 6th, because I multiply those, y to the 4th, x to the 8th, 25, y squared. I think that's what I have in the next one. Yep, and then go ahead and start canceling, you guys. I see those x to the 6's. There's 6x's downstairs. Going to take 6 of the 9 upstairs because I subtract them. So I have 3 left. Over here I have y squared downstairs. Going to take away 2 of the 4 upstairs. So there's 2 left. So I have 27. Here I have x to the 3rd, x to the 8th. I'm going to add 3 plus 8. And then I have y cubed, y squared. I'm going to add y to the 5th. And then I'm just left with the 25 on the bottom right there. All right, and that's the final answer. Okay, and that's probably as hard as you're going to get on that, okay? Nice work, you guys.